This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
We've received dozens of emails to the city about what the traffic was in the last 24 hours.
Esquimalt Road was backed up from the bridge all the way into Esquimalt.
Tonight, troubled traffic. Victoria's Bay Street Bridge repair brings commuter chaos to Esquimalt.
I just got back to the apocalypse. Like, that's exactly how it felt.
Also ahead, marking the 4-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine. Plus, Adam meets a man who worked for decades to realize a childhood dream underground. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin with a traffic headache that sadly is just beginning. As a lengthy construction project closed parts of the Bay Street Bridge yesterday, traffic snarled, reaching deep into Esquimalt. Here's CTV's Anna McMillan with the frustration and a few tips to stay calm behind the wheel.
Last night in Vic West, a 2-kilometer drive that normally takes 5 minutes took more than 20. Traffic heading downtown on Esquimalt Road was backed up from Johnson Street Bridge past Dunsmuir Road.
We've received dozens of emails to the city about what the traffic was in the last 24 hours.
The eastbound lane of the Bay Street Bridge closed yesterday until June for remediation work. The city of Victoria says that means every day thousands of additional cars are squeezing through a single eastbound lane on the Johnson Street Bridge. It's one of few routes out of Esquimalt into Victoria.
Within the traffic system, if we do too much work preemptively, we can create problems that we weren't anticipating. We're waiting to see what the traffic was doing and where people are showing up.
Ross Kenny is with Victoria's Transportation Department. He says ahead of yesterday, the timing of a few traffic lights was adjusted and more tweaks are being made so busy roads get more time on green.
We're constantly going to be monitoring, making changes, and then making further changes as required.
Esquimalt's mayor says she got stuck in traffic, and that wasn't even during rush hour.
But this is work that has to be done. I think the one thing that people agree on is that we need to do the infrastructure upgrades.
She's asking people not to speed through side streets.
We have school kids coming out at the same time as people are trying to go home. We have frustration with the roads being, having construction. Everybody needs to chill.
To help, the city of Victoria is asking West Shore commuters to stick to Highway 1 instead of cutting through Esquimalt. They'll be forced to do that for 2 weeks starting Monday when the eastbound lane on part of the Old Island Highway closes for hydro work.
I think in the weeks to months ahead, we're going to be continuing to refine our network. We also know that the public is going to be looking at their own travel behaviors.
He expects congestion will persist when getting in and out of Esquimalt, but the hope is with a few more traffic light tweaks, the worst of it will be over. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
A wildfire from 3 years ago continues to cause traffic headaches near Port Alberni. The province says it will shut down Highway 4 along Cameron Lake on February 25th to deal with shoulder erosion. The Cameron Bluffs wildfire destabilized the mountainside, and crews have been dealing with slides and erosion since. The highway will be shut down from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. next Wednesday. The cleanup of that fuel spill at Van Isle Marina in Sidney is now complete. In the early morning of February 1st, 3 luxury yachts caught fire, sinking to the ocean floor. Western Canada Marine Response was called in, deploying containment booms and recovery tools such as skimmers and absorbent pads to prevent fuel and oil from spreading. In total, 10,000 liters of oily water was recovered from the marina, as well as 1,500 bags of solid waste. A shoreline cleanup assessment was completed, which recommended treatment to 5 sites. 4 of those recommendations are now done with, and the 5th site is being monitored. The remains of those 3 luxury yachts have also been removed from the seafloor. People living on the Snuneymuxw reserve lands may soon be able to vote in the city of Nanaimo elections. The First Nation, along with the city, are requesting support from the province to change the municipal boundaries of the harbour city to include Snuneymuxw reserve land. That would mean First Nation members can vote in municipal elections. The request is part of the city's commitment to truth and reconciliation and will only allow for voting privileges. Currently, the First Nation votes for a regional district and a school board.
What we're proposing is that if you're living in the city on reserved lands or lands that are adjacent, that you should be able to vote for mayor and council. It's long overdue. It's an historic anomaly in terms of moving us down the road to reconciliation. This is an important step.
The city adds the plan will have to go through an approval process and hopes First Nation members can begin voting in the next municipal election this October. The provincial budget is being met with optimism in Nanaimo, coming from a line item to get the ball rolling across the province to improve healthcare services. The Nanaimo Regional Hospital District says it's hopeful after the budget mentioned NRGH is in line for some form of funding to help with improvements. There's been increasing public pressure on the Mid-Island the last couple years for a cath lab and a new patient tower in Nanaimo. A couple of months ago, the hospital district committed to pay for the cost to build a cath lab, something it believes the province took note of.
We're saying, listen, we'll pay this cost up front. It's going to come out of our 40% no matter what. Whether we pay in the beginning or the end, doesn't matter. But if we can get that going, that'll help to move the projects forward.
$2.8 billion was committed in the budget to invest in new funding for the healthcare system over 3 years. BC's paramedics have voted in favor of strike action. However, that doesn't mean workers are walking off the job. The Ambulance Paramedics of BC says its members voted 97% in favor of a strike in a vote that took place over 2 weeks this month. The union, which has 6,000 members, has previously said its members would be in a legal strike position once an essential services order is in place. It has pointed to concerns about mental health and safety, along with significant staffing pressures as sticking points. February 24th will mark the 4-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine, with countless lives being lost on both sides. As the somber anniversary approaches, a South Island humanitarian group is making plans for its 5th trip to help the people of Ukraine. As CTV's Brendan Strain shows us, those living in the war-torn country say they are exhausted and losing hope that the conflict will come to an end anytime soon.
February 24th will mark 4 long years of war in Ukraine.
Honestly, I just can't believe it that it's been that long.
Uliana Kolesnik lives in the northwest of Ukraine. For the past few months, she's been studying abroad. Although 2 weeks ago, she returned home to visit family.
I was like, oh my God, I just got back to the apocalypse. Like, that's exactly how it felt. We had no electricity, we had no water.
Russian drone strikes have crippled Ukraine's power grid.
It was 6 hours of power a day.
She says, adding to those challenges, this winter has been brutally frigid, with temperatures sitting around -20 on average.
It's been that cold that even plants were freezing in the apartments. And again, I'm not exaggerating.
To date, we've lost over 100 community members who are either confirmed dead, missing in action, or held in captivity.
Bob Beckett is with Vancouver Island Supports Ukraine, a humanitarian group based in the West Shore that has made 4 trips to the war-torn country delivering humanitarian aid.
28 children in our community are growing up as half orphans, having lost their fathers to this war.
He is reading a note sent to him from the deputy mayor of Olika, one of the communities that the team continues to assist, which currently has 10% of its population fighting on the front lines.
It is wearing on them.
In early April, the team will make its 5th trip to the embattled country. Although after 4 years of war, this trip could be the team's most challenging.
Each trip, we see more and more of the grave sites with the Ukrainian flags flying over the graves of the lost heroes, as they're referred to.
It's been a terrible 4 years. I mean, I don't think anybody really thought when this war first happened that it would go on this long, and it continues.
The team is vowing to stand beside those in Ukraine who've experienced unimaginable loss and hardship over the past 4 years.
It's not finishing anytime soon. Like, we don't even have hopes for it ending in spring, but I hope it will end in 2027.
Uliana says one thing is for sure. The Ukrainian people will not back down, continuing the fight against its Russian aggressors. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
And coming up tomorrow, Brendan takes a deeper dive into the humanitarian team's upcoming trip, showing you how it plans to fund a blood bank in a children's hospital in Ukraine. That hospital performs more than 2,000 blood transfusions per year, sometimes in the building's bomb shelter, as Russian drones pummel the region. That story tomorrow.
You're taking a live look at the harbor where we are sitting at 4 degrees. We've got some sun reflecting off the water. Pretty nice as we head into the evening. A little bit cool. We do have some warmer days in the extended forecast, but there'll be rain with those warmer days. I have your full forecast details coming up.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Plan, book, and safeguard your journeys. Explore the possibilities at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Corey Adel now joins us for weather. What are we thinking? Still going to stay cool?
Yeah, but the good thing is we'll have some sun to go with the cooler temperature. So nice and sunny as we go throughout tomorrow. You will want to soak up that sun because after that, temperatures rise, but we've got a lot of rain coming into the region. So as we take a look at our current temperatures right now, most areas coming in at 4 degrees, Comox 3, Port Hardy 3, winds on the light side, which is nice. As we go throughout the evening, conditions not too bad, and we're going to be set up for a very nice Thursday. We're going to be seeing a lot of sun as we go throughout tomorrow. Right now, we are seeing some breaks in the cloud in northern areas of the island as we move towards Victoria. Still a little bit more cloud. That's also the case towards Tofino. That will break up as we go throughout the overnight period and continue to be the case as we go throughout the morning. And then that'll lead to a lot of sun as we go throughout Thursday. So fairly clear sky, a nice bright day as we go throughout Thursday. Enjoy that as we get into the late evening and overnight period into Friday. Northern areas first, we'll start to see the cloud move in. Rain, snow mix in some areas and showers, and into the higher elevations could see some snow, wet snow. Let's take a look at the North Island forecast. 3 tomorrow, so a little bit chilly, but lots of sun, wind light. Friday, could see a bit of a rain, snow mix, and then it turns to a chance of showers as we go throughout the weekend. Slight chance on Saturday, better chance on Sunday, 8 and 7 degrees. So warmer, but we do see the showers associated with those warmer temperatures. That's also the case as we look inland. Lots of sun for tomorrow. Late Thursday into the early morning hours, could possibly see some evening flurries, wet flurries, and then a chance of a rain snow mix for Friday as well as Saturday. Rain on Sunday with the temperature jumping to 9 degrees. So again, we see a warm up, but it's coming with the rain and showers as we go throughout the weekend. West Coast, lots of sun, a little bit more cloud building as we get into the evening, chance of some evening showers, and then it's rain as we go throughout Friday and the weekend. Sunday, we could be as warm as 11 degrees. As we take a look at Comox, very similar conditions, lots of sun, only a high of 3, slight chance of some evening rain, snow mix, and then rain and showers as we go throughout the extended forecast Sunday, the warmest day as well. As we take a look at Nanaimo, 4 for tomorrow, lots of sun, slight chance of evening flurries, and then rain for Friday, Saturday. Could see some showers on Sunday, and again, the warmest day at 10 degrees. As we look at Victoria, in the morning, we'll start off at -1, 4 for a high, lots of sun, wind light. It's going to be a very nice day. It's a little bit on the cool side, and then temperatures start to climb, but then we see a chance of showers for Friday. A little bit of sun breaking through, chance of scattered showers, and then as we take a look at the weekend, 10 and 11 for Saturday, Sunday, with a chance of showers throughout, and that lasts as we head into Monday. So very similar conditions throughout much of the island. Lots of sun as we go throughout tomorrow. As I said, enjoy that, soak it up, because after that, we've got some rain and showers in the extended forecast. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
All right, thank you, Corey. The province is getting another financial boost from Ottawa in BC's goal of building more homes quicker. BC will receive $170 million in funding from the federal government, with the province also committing as much as $200 million. The combined cash will accelerate construction-ready projects, delivering more than 700 supportive and affordable homes in BC. Those homes are expected to begin the building process in the next 12 months. The reduced demand from Canadians flying to the U.S. has air carriers making changes. Air Transat is canceling all flights to the States starting this spring, while WestJet is eliminating some routes. CTV's Alex Carpa on what it means for the airlines and also your travel plans.
Yeah, this is myself with my daughter when she was going to school just outside of Pittsburgh.
Mike Gebhardt is a frequent traveler to the United States.
Well, on average, I would probably travel 3, 4, maybe 5.
His daughter lives in Alabama, but visiting her sometimes is not easy.
I do fly out of Saskatchewan most of the time, so it is a bit of a challenge. Leave early in the morning, come back late at night.
But traveling could get a little more chaotic for passengers like Gebhardt. WestJet and Air Transat recently slashed several routes from Canada to U.S. cities.
It's something to always be aware of.
Statistics Canada data last month showed that Canadians continue to take fewer trips to the U.S. in November 2025. Travel agent Daryl Silver says passengers shouldn't be worried about this shift.
Yes, could there be more problems now? I suppose, but in general, I don't think that that's significant if that is happening.
A few travel experts we spoke to say passenger demand to the U.S. from Canada is down and say it's no surprise that airlines like WestJet and Air Transat are reducing these routes.
It's one of those things where they feel they can focus on domestic, where they excel, especially on the West Coast, and become more profitable. It's good for them.
John Graddick says the reduction is consumer-driven.
Not driven by the weather, not driven by anything else. Consumers have decided that they'd rather spend their leisure travel dollars on flights other than the USA, and they're reacting to that.
Meanwhile, Porter Airlines announcing it's adding routes to the U.S., saying travelers want more options. As for Gebhardt, he says he'll continue traveling to the U.S. to see his daughter, but when it comes to vacationing south of the border, he admits he's thinking twice, especially as flight options are reduced. Alex Carper, CTV News, Winnipeg.
It was a golden day for Canada at the Winter Games, plus a nail-biter in men's hockey and more Canadians climbing the podium. CTV's Scott Hurst has the Olympic roundup.
Canadian passion was on full display following the men's hockey game in Milan.
Incredible. It was a lot of fun to be a part of.
But it was unfamiliar territory early on for Canada in its quarterfinal matchup against Czechia. After an early goal by 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini, Czechia responded with 2 goals of its own, putting Canada behind for the first time all tournament.
Classic Canadian hockey. We don't wake up the first 20 minutes of the game.
In the second period, more concern for Canada as captain Sidney Crosby left the game with an injury and did not return. But Canada was able to tie it up. Nathan McKinnon scored off a pass from Connor McDavid.
It was stressful, but, you know, we never gave up. We believe.
And that belief paid off. In the third, the teams traded goals to send this quarterfinal matchup to a 3-on-3 overtime. And it was former Toronto Maple Leaf Mitch Marner who scored the game-winning goal for Canada.
It was electric. Like, it was just so good to be part of, like, this community and see all the Canadian passion.
In other Olympic action, more podiums for Canadian athletes, including a gold in the men's 500-meter short track final. Stephen Dubois is now the Olympic champion. Also, Canada won a bronze medal in the women's 3,000-meter relay. The team of Dana Islae, Kim Boutin, Florence Brunel, and Courtney Saroux. For Saroux, the 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, this is her 4th Olympic medal at these games. The spotlight returns to hockey tomorrow with the highly anticipated women's final, Canada versus the United States. The Canadians lost to the Americans earlier in the tournament, but Team Canada is the defending Olympic champion. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, Hobbit House. Adam finds out how digging in the dirt led a man to realize a dream under the ground. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Out how a man spent decades realizing a childhood dream underground. On tonight's Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When Jacob Hageman began walking up this hill, his feet were small, but his dreams were big.
As a kid, you just want to see what you could do with the shovel and move dirt.
The then 5-year-old wondered if he could move enough dirt, perhaps he could move in to the cave that remained.
It wasn't just like decorating my room. It was actually I could physically create and make a space.
So every day in the summer, Jacob would dig a little bit, despite every winter finding the cave would collapse a lot.
That dream just never really died. It existed in my head, and it was just something that I had to tackle.
So Jacob kept digging for a decade, until he was 15 and his dad, impressed with his determination, surprised his son with a visit from an excavator.
It's unbelievable. I thought that looks a lot bigger than my shovel.
After completing what would have been a whole summer's worth of digging with just one scoop, a sturdy structure was buried inside the hole. And after watching the Lord of the Rings movies, Jacob was inspired to create a space that looked like a Hobbit's home.
That gave me a vision and a beauty to go, hey, my pit looks ugly. What can I do to make it?
Over the next 13 years, Jacob taught himself all the skills he'd need to transform his hole in the hill into an underground home.
You know, like Disneyland, you look around and it's visually immersive, and it's a little escape from the world.
It features a wood-burning fireplace that illuminates tile on the floor, a chandelier on the ceiling, and in between, a pantry to store sustenance, a bookshelf to cultivate knowledge, and handmade chairs to welcome company.
It is a satisfying feeling to now have a space to go, and I have friends over, and we have food and drink and good times.
And all year round, Jacob can feel grateful that a boy with unbridled imagination, thanks to unending determination and unexpected generosity, grew up to be a man who made his dream come true. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Chilliwack.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.